Can everybody hear my voice okay? Because I have tendency to walk around the room a lot when I'm, because it just makes me, I feel comfortable. I'm energized and I'd like to just kind of keep it moving a little bit. So I don't have a microphone on, but if everybody, can you hear me all the way over there? All right. So, well, thank you for having us in today to speak with you about what it is that our company does and the services that we provide. Again, our company is C.A.P.S Services. A lot of times people have, they ask, well, Mark, Sharon, what is this MAS about? This M-A-S-S is not the ambulance, are you? I know you guys work with the aged and the disabled, but it's not ambulance, is it? I'm like, no. They say, well, are you Catholic? Does it have anything to do with the Catholic Church? I'm like, no. I said, you know what? Let me tell you. It's an acronym, and it has such a long, words name to it that we just had to come up with a simple word like MAS. And between me and you all in this big group today, you all now know what MAS means. It stands for, get ready, a multitude of applied specialty services. Now that's a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. So we just call it MAS. Now, how we got into the business of working with both the aging and the disabled, because that is our core focus with our organization, is in 2004, I had a botched up hip replacement. And just stemming back a little earlier, the first hip replacement was in 2000. In 2000, I had my left hip done. They made me a 1/4 inch too short. In 2004, I had the right hip done. They made me 7/8 of an inch too long. Now, that was the time when the governor had changed offices and they had those caps and limitations on malpractice, and attorneys would just flat refuse to do anything with me. So they said, well, Mark, you know, you're on your own on that pretty much. So basically, just a long story short, what happened is I just had some engineered wedges put into my left shoe and went to a lot of rehab. I did 4 days of rehab a week, 3 to 4 hours a day in the rehab center. And while I was at the rehab center, I gained a lot of friends. People said, well, boy, what are you doing here? You're too young to be up in the rehab center, especially looking like every day in there. You know, I said, well, you know, I had this botched up hip replacement, things like that. And I got into the little history about that our company, we provide construction services. So this one lady, she invited me over to her house to look at a ramp that she said was a little bit too steep. So I agreed, we went over there and looked at the ramp. And that ramp, it reminded me of the days back when we used to do demolition. Now, that ramp was extremely steep. People did not realize, like, I had a crew of guys, whereas we would go in and demolish out apartment buildings. And what we would do is we would gut